So today's webcast agenda is simple. So we will have an introduction to Microsoft SharePoint. Introduction to Microsoft SharePoint. Then SharePoint development tools. Then we'll see development concepts, and lastly we'll see the demo, the demonstration. So what is Microsoft SharePoint? So basically, SharePoint is a portal-based collaboration and document management platform from Microsoft. So it can be used to host websites the SharePoint portal, and it can be used to share workspaces, documents, document management, and as well as we can use specialized applications like wikis or blogs where we can create blogs. So this is basically a collaborative tool which can be used for the teams, so we can manage content and process. So basically it consists of many web parts actually. So again these web parts are developed with ASP.NET. So again these web parts become a building components for the SharePoint site. So these are developed as individual components and hosted into the SharePoint portal, into the site. So SharePoint sites are actually ASP.NET applications which are served using IIS and SQL Server as a backend data storage. So with SharePoint, we can improve the team productivity. So with all the easy to use collaborative tools. So with the SharePoint, you can create a team workspaces. You can access the calendars, organize documents, receive alerts, notifications when something happens in the team. And also we have some communication features like announcements and alerts with which you can get the notifications. And also, as we talked about, the new application components called new templates, such as blogs and wikis. And also, it is a cost-effective, for building web applications. So it is with the Windows SharePoint service, which exposes the common framework for document management and collaboration and all those activities, and we can easily develop web applications and internet sites specific to the needs of the organization. So we can rapidly develop all the ASP.NET applications using the SharePoint portal. So basically we'll see what is the architecture of the Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007. So basically it is we have Windows Server 2003 or 2008, which acts as a share the operating system, the base actually, which provides the base. Then there's the ASP.NET 2.0, a framework, so which is used to build websites, web applications, XML web services. Actually, it's a part of the .NET framework. So we can see ASP.NET is the advanced version of the success of ASP, Active Circle Pages. Then we have WSS, Windows SharePoint Service 3.0. So basically, it is a set of classes and APIs that wrap the ASP.NET framework into a more collaborative and a list-based environment. So again, Microsoft Office SharePoint Server 2007 is built on top of the Windows SharePoint Service 3.0. So MOS actually sits on WSS and provides further facilities or capabilities like mainly WSS provides all these applications APIs. But again, with MOS, this can be automated. So we can go towards automation of the tasks and integration with other applications. So a MOS provides many features like there are portal features and search services, and there is a web content management where we can manage the contents, publish the contents, manage the documents. Then there is a business intelligence with Excel services, SQL reporting services, and analysis services. We need dashboards, reports. Then there is a business process management where we can document everything. We can manage the documents. Then there is an enterprise content management, so which records the repository. So it's like a software configuration management system and all those things. Basically, WSS 3.0, it's more with ASP.NET 2.0. So many of the capabilities of ASP.NET 2.0 will be implemented with WSS. So these are the SharePoint examples. So we can develop small websites, web pages. So this is a sample application. I mean the website, web page. So coming to the development tools for SharePoint. So basically we have three sections. One is our content authors, so where the contents will be published, managed. Then there is a SharePoint designers who will be designing all the UIs, look and feel, the layouts. Then there is a developer, like mainly a .NET developer who will be developing web parts, workflow. So basically authors are responsible for creating the contents for the Microsoft Office SharePoint. So they basically perform tasks such as creating the content, uploading the content, managing the content, and collaborate with other authors, maintain task list, implement workflows, and share information through the web pages, wikis, and blogs. So our content authors, when they they use Microsoft Office system and the other products for managing the contents, for creating the contents. So once these contents are created or developed, they can deploy to the testing environment, then to the production environment, or we can use the VSTS, Visual Studio Team System, the version control system, where which provides a software configuration management.
It's now
system.
exiting.
So they can deploy all those things into the software configuration management, and then the process can be automated, where the testing can be done. Then it can be deployed into the production environment. Then packaged. So this process can be automated with the VSTS Team Foundation Server version control system. Then coming to the SharePoint designers. So Office SharePoint designers, OSD. So this SharePoint designing helps the designers to customize the artifacts, create master pages, layouts, cascading style sheets, site branding, and many other things. Like designers can customize master pages, layouts, cascading style sheets, and they can use many Microsoft SharePoint designers for doing all these activities. So like again, once they are done with the designing or creating the layouts or site branding, They can again use the team foundation server version control, and they can they can they can implement all these artifacts. They can upload all these artifacts into the version control and have a very good software configuration management system. So with the VSTS and TFS, we can track all these changes, and this again can be shared along the other team projects. Then coming to the web part and workflow developers. So again, with the development environment, like one or more developers can use Microsoft Visual Studio and the respective Microsoft .NET framework versions, and they can use these tools to create and modify the web parts, workflows, site contents, and many other things. So developers basically can perform, like they can create new design elements or modify the existing design elements, and once they are done, they can submit the design elements to the software configuration tool, the version control of Team Foundation server. Then after that, they can do many other things, like they can deploy all these designs. Then it can be packaged and deployed to the production environment. So this is a customization via SharePoint. So if you have a SharePoint portal, we can directly customize, through the SharePoint only. So the site owners or the admins, can create or edit pages. They can create a sample, web pages. They can modify various site settings. They can include many web parts. They can remove the web parts into the pages directly from the portal. So again, they can change the look and feels with the standard templates. They can add many more templates. And also there are embedded Office features such as Outlook, Excel, and InfoPath forms. They can use all those things. They can define the role-based templates for the SharePoint. So they can do many things with the SharePoint site settings. So they can use the galleries where they can have master pages, web parts. They can just include the web parts, change the look and feel of the sites. So they can customize the portal through the SharePoint. Then there's the Office SharePoint Designer OSD, which provides a very intuitive tool which can be used for creating great looking SharePoint pages, websites, for a range of browsers. And using YCWig, what you see is what you get. Like these editors, you can just while doing the development, while editing, you can see how it can look when it is deployed into the production servers. So with the SharePoint designer, you can create interactive SharePoint pages without any code. You can just drag and drop all those things with the editors. And also you can share these rendering engines with the Visual Studio. And there are by default some 40 plus public templates. You can use those things for developing all these pages. Here with the SharePoint designer, again it is it consists of all the tags, HTML tags, and again ASP.NET controllers, web parts. So you can use all these things to create a page or a website. So everything is included with the SharePoint designer, and it is very friendly. It provides very friendly UI user interface for developing the pages. Visual Studio for the SharePoint. So with the Visual Studio or VSTS Development Edition with the 2005 or 2008 and the respective .NET frameworks, we can develop SharePoint sites, SharePoint contents. So this Visual Studio helps in creation of the custom web parts or workflows. We can create custom web parts as a developer. We can develop these components, then deploy these DLLs and include these into a SharePoint portal. So with the Visual Studio, we can create a reusable web parts UI elements that support customization and personalization. So we can develop web parts which can be edited or which can be personalized. And also Visual Studio helps to rapidly develop these components like web parts and workflows using the user interface. Just you have to drag and drop all these things. So you can easily and very rapidly you can develop the components. And also there are templates for the websites, site definition and list. So there are ready-made templates and ready-made components for developing the web parts, site definitions, lists. So basically, what are SharePoint web parts? So these web widgets, that can be included into the SharePoint pages. They are actually included in the SharePoint pages or the web pages to provide certain functionalities, such as workspaces or dashboards, navigation tools, any information giving parts, list or alerts, calendars, search engines, or discussion boards. So each web part contains or does some functionalities, does some work, does some activity. So again, these web parts can be interconnected so that if you have a SharePoint page which contains like some 15 web parts, and all these web parts are connectable, we can interconnect them. So if you put if you give information in one web part, and this information can be shared to other web parts also. So that, for example, if you are developing some project and you are using a SharePoint portal for project management, and if you input the project name or any specific field, and the other web parts, like it may be a web part which gives a report, or it may be a web part which gives statistical information, or the remaining work information, the status of the project. So if you give information in one web part about the the project or a module or application, so all the web parts can be connectable, and these web parts will give information specific to that project. So this way we'll get very organized and whole information in only single page. And also these are editable. Web parts are editable. They can we can include them, we can minimize them, we can close them if you don't want. So again these web parts are of ASP.NET 2.0. So all these functionalities of the ASP.NET like security model, properties, editability, everything will be inherited into the web parts. So how do I create those web parts? So web parts are basically built on ASP.NET 2.0 web form controls. So you can create web parts in C# or VB by using the web part library template in Visual Studio. So once you open a Visual Studio, we have a web part template. So a new template with a 2.0. So we can use that template. You can drag and drop the things. You can create web parts. You can customize them. You can add functionalities, any new features. So it's a very easy for the developers to rapidly develop these web parts using the friendly user interface and ready to use web part library template. So once these are done, you can compile them and you can deploy them, and these can be used for the portals later on. Like they can just add these parts into the sites, into the pages, to enhance the functionalities or the features of the page, or the SharePoint site. So you can develop many web parts into the Visual Studio environment, then create the DLLs, then deploy them. Then site, you can just open these web parts, add these web parts into the site, and you'll be able to get information through the web parts. Again, our web parts are a C# or a VB based. You can develop web parts with the C# or a VB language with the ASP.NET 2.0, and also these can be used for the data fetching with the SQL Server as a backend data storage. So coming to the business workflow or the business process. So basically, workflow is a way where we can organize and run a set of work units or activities. So we'll just lay out all the activities and in what sequences, or how they should be performed. So we can create workflows which are as simple as, or we can create complex workflows or business process with the Visual Studio. We can create workflows that can be initiated by the users, or workflows that Windows SharePoint service automatically initiates based on some events triggering. So like whenever an item is created or a change, so event is triggered and the SharePoint service automatically initiates the workflow. So we can develop all these workflows. So how the user initiated the workflow. So with the portal, we can just go into the document library and select the workflows. Again, we have many workflows like sequential workflows. So usually an activity or some work, it's a part of a workflow, and we can say it is a step in a workflow. So one activity is a step, and the other next, after completing this step, we'll go to the next activity, and so on. And these activities has properties and events that are that can be programmed, and also it has methods. So basically, a Windows Workflow Foundation supports both sequential and queue-based workflows. So you can define the workflow. You can try to automate those things. So again, within the workflow, there are many shapes. In the flow chart or in the state machine workflow. So again, each activity performs a different type of functions, or it may include looping or waiting for the external events to trigger. So building workflow in Visual Studio. So you can author your workflow in Visual Studio Designer for the Windows Workflow Foundation. With the new with the new tools, Windows Workflow Foundation, you can design all the workflows into the Visual Studio. You can publish those things to use with your workflow. You can author the definition and workflow template definition file, which contains all the information about the workflow assemblies and bindings. And you can compile these workflow files to the .NET assembly. So you can package these workflow assemblies no, and workflow definition together, and you can deploy them using features functionalities in Windows SharePoint Service 2.0. And you can debug the live workflows assemblies using Visual Studio Designer for workflow. You can compile them, you can deploy them to fix any bugs found. So basically, you can author your workflow in Visual Studio, and you can design, publish. You can you can compile the workflow into a .NET assembly. You can debug them. You can recompile them. You can package the workflow assemblies. So all these facilities are provided with the Windows Workflow Foundation into the Visual Studio. So again, assembly development with Visual Studio. So again, what we can see here, the word assemblies are developed in an isolated environment. Like the developers will be developing into an isolated environment. So once he has developed, he has to deploy them. So he will deploy into the Microsoft installation files. Then again, it will be deployed into a testing environment where all the testing will be done. Then after the testing, then it will be deployed to the production environment. So all these things can be managed with the VSTS Team Foundation server. So while developing all these web parts or workflows, any other components, customizing it or editing or modifying, you can use VSTS Team Foundation server and and deploy all these things into a software configuration management facility which is provided by Team Foundation server. So everything will be taken care by the version control system. So you can modify the web parts, you can customize the things. So each and every information, all the version histories will be tracked and will be saved into the Team Foundation server version control system. So once it is developed, and we can move from the development environment to the testing environment with the Team Foundation server. So again, in the testing environment, we can use VSTS tools for testing the SharePoint sites, SharePoint applications. Then after testing, it can be automatically deployed into the shared locations where it can be packaged and hosted into the IIS or as a SharePoint site. So all these things can be done using the VSTS, through the VSTS Team Foundation server. So this was all about Microsoft SharePoint and the development tools and the other architecture of the SharePoint, then the contents of the SharePoint and different the roles into the SharePoint, like there is an author, there is a developer and designer. So we looked into all these things. So let's see, before going into the demonstration, let's see what is Visual Studio Team System, and how we can use it for our for developing the our applications or solutions with the use of the SharePoint. So basically, a Visual Studio Team System is an application lifecycle management solution or a tool. So again, it is based on client server architect. So server being the Team Foundation server, then the client components being all the client editions. So let's see, what is Team Foundation server. So Team Foundation server is a single integrated server which contains all the data about the project, about the team projects created into that. So it facilitates many core functionalities. Again, our team foundation server is basically made up of two tiers. So one is application tier and the other is data tier. So the application tier consists of all the ASP.NET web services, which provides interfaces for all the team foundation server functionalities or features, so that the team members or a developer will be using. So it provides the user interface with the web services, ASP.NET web services. Then there is a data tier, which uses Microsoft SQL Server as a backend to store all the data. So Team Foundation Server is made up of two tiers. One is application tier, and the other is data tier. Another Team Foundation Server has some core functionalities. So first being the project management facilities, work item tracking feature, then there's a version control, then reporting and team build. So with the SharePoint portal and team portals and all the other project related tools, there's a very good project management facility provided with the Team Foundation server. So where we can manage the project related artifacts, provide the version control for the documents, and have the announcements, alerts. So all the communication and collaborative activities can be done with the project management facility provided with the Team Foundation server. Then there's a work item tracking feature which provides a task management tool. So with which we can assign tasks, we can create a task, assign it to a team member, then we can track the progress of the activity. So it provides a complete task management. So with the work item tracking, we have different types of work items. So basically, a work item is any work or activity that is done into the software development. So it may be creating a page, coding some business logic, or setting up some permissions, or doing a test, then debugging a bug or application, then resolving a bug. It may detect anything in any activity into the software development. So based on that, there are many different types of work items. There is a task work item for all the activities. Then there is a bug work item for the bugs found in the application. So the testers can raise a bug work item and assign it to a developer. Then there are many scenario work item is there, risk work item is there. So based on the business process and activities, we have different types of work items. Again, these work items comes with inbuilt state flow or workflow, we can say. So this workflow will define the business process. So how it should go, how it should it leads, like whenever we create a bug work item. So tester finds a bug in the application and raises a bug work item and assigns to a developer. So once a developer receives that bug work item, he tries to resolve it. Then after he resolves it, he'll say like I have resolved the bug work item. Then there is another state called resolved. Then after the team lead or a tester reviews it or does a retest, then once it is succeeded, he can say the work item is closed. So the bug is closed. So like this, there are different state flows or workflows built with the with the work item. And also moving to the version control system. So typically version control system provides software configuration management facility. So again, our version control system is not an upgrade of any older versions. So it's a totally brand new version control system. So again, it uses ASP.NET web services and Microsoft SQL Server as a database backend, so which is used to store all the source code changes and all the version histories, information and everything into the SQL Server. So again, version control feature has many functionalities, many inbuilt features. Then there is a powerful branching and merging feature. Then there's a new concept called chain set, which is which contains a group of source code files which are checked in, and a single chain set ID is created for all the group of files. And also, the transaction is into atomic, like all the changes are updated into the team foundation server, or all the changes are rolled back. Then there is a powerful a shelving feature which can be used for setting aside some pending changes into the team foundation server without checking in, so that it will ensure a server core integrity. We can use a shelving feature for many other scenarios, for remote code review, or for example, if you are developing some application or some code, and suddenly if your project lead or a team lead assigns you some other work, high priority work, so you can set aside the incompleted work. You can shelve it and save into the team foundation server without checking into the team foundation server, so that you can complete the high priority work, and later on unshell the uncompleted work, then complete the work, then you can check into the TFS. Or you can use it for remote code review. So once you have completed your code, you can shelve it and pass on to your team lead or team member to review it. So once he has reviewed, he can include comments and he can pass on to you. So once the review is done, you can check in into the team foundation server, so that you ensure that there is integrity into the server code, so that there is no build failure. And coming to the reporting feature of the team foundation server. So with the process templates we select while creating team projects, we'll get some ready-to-use reports. And also the interesting fact of the report is, like, the data is not manually updated. So usually a data is collected with all these activities of the team foundation server, using all the features of the team foundation server. The team members will be are doing all the activities. So the data is collected from all these features. It is processed, and reports are generated. And these are real-time reports, so that you will get the status of the project, and you will be able to easily predict the risk or the result, and you will have a sufficient time so that you can take corrective actions. And coming to the team build, so a team foundation server team build is a complete end-to-end release management tool. So basically, public build involves many steps, like collecting the source code, compiling it, and analyzing it, running all the tests. There may be a build verification test. Then after building it, binaries are generated, DLLs or EXEs. Then dropping them to some locations, and then generating the report. So all these multitude activities usually take time and effort. So all these activities can be automated with the team build feature. So once it is configured, you can just run a build. So it will automatically collect all the source code files, then compile it, and if there are any tests like unit test or a web test, so I mean a build verification test. So if there are any, then it will run all those tests, then collect information about the test result, then generate the binaries, then deploy the binaries into the shared location. Then after that, finally generate the report, a build report, giving all this information like what went into the team build. So this provides a complete release management tool. And also with all these core functionalities, there is a process template or a process guidance. which will guide all the team members, into the team project. So like, a project will be following some process methodologies. So it will guide the team members or a developers to follow those process methodologies. So out of the box, Team Foundation Server provides two process methodologies. One is MSF for Agile Software Development, and the other is CMMI process template. So you can include any of these things for creating a team project, or if your company is following some process templates, you can include those process templates. Then coming to the client parts, we have a Visual Studio Team Suite, which is a bundled edition of all these role-based editions. For the infrastructure and solution architects, there is architecture edition. For the developers, there is a development edition, and for database professionals, there is a database edition, and there is a test edition for the testers. So you can use individual role-based editions based on your requirement, or you can use a Visual Studio Team Suite, which is a bundled version of all these editions. And also there is a complete integration with MS Office, mainly Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Project Professionals. So basically this is used for the project managers, so who are comfortable with the MS Excel or MPP, and they can just open their Excel or MPP. They can do all the project management related tasks. So they can create the task, they can assign the task to the team members or a developer. So once they are done with those activities, they can publish those tasks or work items into the Team Foundation server. So there is a complete integration with the MS Office, so that once they publish the work items, all the other users of the Team Foundation server will be able to see them through the Visual Studio or through the MS Office, and they can proceed with the activities. So once they are done, they can update the work items. So again, in the MS Office, it will be reflected, so that the project managers will get to know the status of the task what they are assigned to the developers. So this is basically used for to make life easy for the project managers. And coming to the web access, which is a web interface. So this is basically used for the clients or the stakeholders who do not have any software installed on their desktop, but still they can connect to the Team Foundation server if they have an Internet Explorer. So they can just type the URL and connect to the Team Foundation server if they have specific permissions, and access all the features of the Team Foundation server. They can create work items, they can see all the source code files, they can see the reports, team build reports. And we can see at the right corner we have a component called third party tools. So with the third party tools, basically we can enhance the functionalities of the Team Foundation server. So for example, there is a third party component called Team Price for the Java application development. So that from the Eclipse IDE itself, you can connect to the Team Price, or to the Team Foundation server, and you can access all the features of the Team Foundation server. Then we can see at the left corner there is an extensibility. So almost all features of the Team Foundation server are extensible. So as I said about the process templates, so you can customize the existing process templates. You can add your own process template. You can customize the reportings. You can you can customize existing reports. You can add new reports with the SQL reporting service and the MS Excel pivot tables. So you can customize the the work item tracking features, the team build. So almost all features of the Team Foundation server can be customized. So this is a bird's eye view of Visual Studio Team System. So this is the what Visual Studio Team System consists of. So let's move into the demonstration, and let's see how what are the components of SharePoints, and how we can SharePoint designers and all those things we can see here. For that, I'll just connect to the Team Foundation server. I mean the through my VPC. I'll just share my VPC. I hope you're all able to see my virtual PC. I'll just start the Visual Studio. So this is my Visual Studio, and again this is the Team Explorer, which is a client component, no, which is used to connect to the Team Foundation server from the Visual Studio. So basically, what we can do is click on the icon here called Team Explorer. Then a Team Explorer will appear. So here we can just connect to the Team Foundation server and any project, existing project. So I'll click on that, and we'll be able to see the Team Foundation server. So you can see the Team Foundation server URL. So when I choose a Team Foundation server, it will give downwards. It will give all the team projects, list of team projects. So I can select any team project and connect to that. Or what I can do is I'll just connect to the Team Foundation server. And if you right click on a Team Foundation server, and you can see a second option called New Team Project. So you can create a new team project if you are starting a new application or a new project. So you can create a new team project for that and enter a name for that and say next. And here you can see the process templates. So out of the box, Team Foundation server provides two process templates. One is MSF for Agile Software Development and MSF for CMMI Process Improvement. So you can choose any of the process templates and say next. And this is the settings for the team portal. So here we can see again TFS it's embedded with the Windows SharePoint service. So whenever we create a team project, a team portal will be created with that for that particular project, which will give us all the project management facilities. So I'll say just click on next, and here we have to specify all the source control settings. And when I click on next, it will give all the summaries of the options I have selected, all the settings. So when I click on finish, so it is going to create a team project. So for the demo purpose, I'll just cancel this and connect to the existing team project, because this will take some time. So I'll just cancel it. Right click on a team foundation server and select the first option called add existing team project and select the first team project called AWC online. Say OK. This is the team project, which here inside below that we can see different nodes. There's a work item node, document node, reports, team build, and source control. So again, these will provide all the functionalities of the team foundation server. So I'm just going to right click on the team project and select the first option called show project portal. So before getting into that, we'll just see how the portal looks and the look and feel. So I'm just select the project portal. So in the presentation we discussed about changing the settings, changing the look and feel of the portal using the SharePoint portal. So this is the SharePoint portal. So this is the home page. So it contains many sections. We can see a documents where we can see all the documents, document libraries. Then there's a process guidance, which will help the team members to know about the process methodology. Then there are many reports. Then in the home page you can see announcements, links to the any links related to the team project or announcements in the project. This is the project portal. So at the right corner we can see site actions. So we'll get all these options where we can add a library list or a web page to this website. Then there is edit page. Then site settings are there. So here we can add, remove web parts. And when you choose the last option called site settings, you'll get all the options where we can modify. You can modify the look and feel. You can have different templates. You can add web parts. So the first section consists of users and permissions. So we can add user security settings here. Then the next section consists of look and feel. So here we can customize all the look and feel of the portal. Then there's a next section called galleries, which consists of master pages, web parts, templates, workflows, so that we can choose from here all the web parts or web pages, or the master pages. Then there's a site administration where we can configure alerts. Then there's a site collection administrator which has recycle bin and all the other site collection features. So when we click on the master page, so here we can see a default.master page, right? No, we can see this is the default.master page. We can just open it and modify it into the SharePoint designer. We can take all this portal into the SharePoint designer. We can import this. We can modify it. So coming to the document section, so we can see all the documents, libraries, development, process guidance, project management, requirements, security. You can create a site, website here, workspaces. Talking about sharing the workspaces, sites, sharing the documents. So you can share the documents. And also there's the version control facility. I'll just minimize it. So once I install SharePoint Designer and SharePoint extensions, so in the Microsoft Office, I will get a new component called Microsoft Office SharePoint Designer 2007, which can be used, to create SharePoint sites to customize. I'll just open it. So this is the SharePoint designer. I'll click on File and say Import Site Wizard. So I'll just import any existing site. So when I click on that, it asks for a website location. I'll just type the website, the existing website. So we already seen AWS online portal, right? And these are all the contents of the AWS online portal. So we can import the AWS online site or a portal into the SharePoint Designer. Then we can customize it. We can add web parts. We can modify the look and feel. We can customize the look and feel. We can add many new features, functionalities into that portal. So just say click on next. So it asks for me the location. So just give in C drive and say next. So when I click on finish, it will import all the things. So you can see here there are two sections. One is the local website and the other is the remote website. So now I imported from the remote website. Now I just I have to transfer all these contents into my local website. So I can select all the things, and here we have all the options like publish selected files from the remote site to the local website. So I'm just publishing it. So it will copy all the contents from the remote website to the local website. So we can do like this. We can connect any existing sites. We can import any existing sites, or directly in the HIR portal, and directly from the portal you can open any files into the SharePoint Designer and try to modify it or add some more components to it. So we'll see that also, like how to open a file from the portal directly into the Microsoft Office SharePoint Designer. Now it has copied all the things into the local website. So once it does, you can just open the files into the SharePoint Designer. You can see all the codes, HTML code, the other codes. You can customize it. You can add new HTML files or web pages. So it has done. So you can see here in the C drive, and my site has been created. So it has imported everything into this folder. All the documents. So what we have seen, all the documents are here. So what we saw in the portal, AWS online project portal, all the documents, every information has been has been imported. So this is the code, and here you can see at the right side we have all the tools. We have simple tags, HTML tags, HTML form controls. Then we have ASP.NET controls, all the ASP.NET controls. So everything is included into the SharePoint Designer. And we have web parts, so we can have create web parts, customize the web parts. Then there are SharePoint controls. So with the SharePoint Designer, everything is included. You can write from the HTML templates to the form controls, the ASP.NET controls, web parts. So we can easily design anything from the SharePoint Designer. So now we will see how we can use. So once I install SharePoint Designer, I'll be able to get this option into the portal, so that I can directly open the default master page or any web pages. I can edit into the SharePoint Designer. So I can just click on edit into the Microsoft Office SharePoint Designer. Say OK. You can see the same site opens here. Here we can see it. So this is the default page, the home page, what it comes. So all the things we can see, the master pages. So we can modify here. We can include any pages or anything, and just we can again go into the publish it, and we'll be able to see the changes into the portal. So we have all the web parts, and the days product controls. So this is the SharePoint Designer. So let's see from the Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio, what we can what we can do with the SharePoint. So when we when we install some SharePoint extensions, so into the Visual Studio we'll get the other components, SharePoint components. I'm just creating a new project. So when I install SharePoint extension, I'm just opening a Visual C Sharp. You'll get a new component called SharePoint, new project type. So you have all the templates, default templates, where we can create a team site definition, blank site definition, web part, place definitions. When I click on OK, I selected a blank site definition and say OK. So basically with this what we can do is like we can have all the features provided by the Visual Studio Team Foundation server. So we can put this into a version control system. We can use software configuration management facility. We can test the sites. We can deploy them, package them. So this is how when we create a blank site definition. So a solution is created. We can go on developing from scratch the for the SharePoint portals or sites. So this is the default.aspx. So we have all the web part. We have all the tools. We have all the web part tools where we can create web parts. So this is a source control, a version control system. When you click on a source control here, source control explorer will be open. So that we can just add this solution into the source control, and later on we can access all the facilities like check-in, check-out, all the version control facilities, so that we can easily develop all these applications, SharePoint sites, and have all the project management facilities with the TFS. Once I add these solutions into the Team Foundation server, you can see a plus mark here. So this is just added. I need to check in it. I just check in the pending changes. Can you comments here? You can associate work items with that. So once it is checked in, you can see the symbols have been changed into a log. So from now onwards, the developers in the team can access these files, do modifications, maintain the versions of the files, baseline versioning, everything we can do here. So once it is done, we can build it, we can deploy it. So like this with the VSTS, the Visual Studio, we can create the SharePoint sites and access all the Team Foundation Server facilities. We'll see another component which we discussed about, like there is a solution generator. So with a portal, if you have a site or a portal, so we can just include it and generate a Visual Studio solution from that. So when we install a SharePoint generator, we can see here a SharePoint solution generator 2008. When we install it, we can create a SharePoint solution from the site definitions or a list definitions. Just select site definition, say next. So here we'll get all the sites which are hosted, or you can just pick a SharePoint site, or you can specify the location of the site, the URL. So just select AWS online site only and say next. It will give all the list definitions. There is announcements, calendar, development, links, process guidance, project management, requirements, security, shared documents, tasks, team discussion, test. So we saw all these things in the portal. So all these things are included, whole list. So I click on next. So here we can give the project name. And the location. I just given sample AWS view. So click on next. So you can see here the target site is AWS Online, and all the tasks, what it will, it will proceed into all these tasks to generate the solution. So when I click on finish, the initialization starts. Then it will copy the base site definitions. Then it will copy the site properties. It will update the site definitions. Then it will copy the list definitions, update the list definitions. Then it will generate the code. Then create a Visual Studio project. Then clean up all the temporary files. So once it is finished, so you can click here to open the generated solutions. It will go to that the link or the path what I've given. So you can see here all the things have been come. So it has imported everything. There are ASTX pages like all items, display form, edit form. These are used for specific functionalities or activities. So when you saw in the portal, there was upload option. So there is the upload.aspx. Then there was the edit option where we can edit. Then there is edit form.aspx. I can open this solution which was generated with the SharePoint solution generator. Like this, you can open, you can import any site and you can generate a Visual Studio solution of that project out of that. And later on, you can do a development. So you can include your own code. You can modify it. So you can see here all the things, site provision handling, site definitions. So here later on, you can just include many pages, many functionalities. You can add features to these existing things, and you can, again you can, host these sites. So, this has been created. A Visual Studio project has been created from the site with the help of the SharePoint solution generator. So this was the demonstration part. So now we saw like right from this what is Microsoft SharePoint and what is architecture. Then what are the SharePoint development tools and different roles like author, designers, and developers. Then the SharePoint designer tool and Visual Studio, a development tool for SharePoint. Then we saw how Team Foundation Server can pitching in into the for software configuration management and for all the other things, right from developing, testing, and deploying, which can with the TFS, which can we can do all these things. So if any questions are there, then you can just use the QA option in the live meeting console. Or if you have any queries after this session also, you can just post your queries to our team to the email ID vststeam@ecanaries.com. I hope this session was very useful. So if you have any queries, you can just post to the VSTS team at the rate ecanvas.com. We'll be able to answer. And once again, thank you for attending the session. Once again, thank you one and all, and I think the session was very useful to you. And if you have any queries, as I said, we can post to our team email ID, vststeam@ecanvas.com. Thank you.